So all slight technical difficulty there. I had to reset my laptop. My apologies, everybody, for a slightly delayed start there. This is the last event, probably the most important one, really, because what I'm going to try and do is just recreate the Roadshow events for all the students that are at primary schools that we didn't manage to get to, or you were actually away on the day that we delivered that. So particularly welcome to all the young people that might be watching. It'd be really nice just to drop in the chat bar your name and where you're from, just so I know who's out there. I can see there's 14, 15 of you out there, so that's great. My name's Mr Calvert. I'm one of the assistant head teachers at Ilkley Grammar School. My job is head of Key Stage 3, so that's years 7, 8 and 9. But also I'm responsible for transition as well. So I have been to a lot of the primary schools. We were at Addingham Primary School this afternoon and doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing here. What I'm going to try and do is just give you an overview of the school. As I said, this is all about you. So please just drop in questions into the chat bar and I'll do my best to answer them as we go. It's pretty unscripted, this, so I will just keep responding to the questions that are there. So please just drop them in. And as I said, if you want to say hello, just drop a hi into the chat then, and I can see that we can make this interactive for everybody as well. So it's absolutely okay to feel some emotions when you're changing from a primary school to a high school. All those emotions that all of us remember feeling when we moved from primary school to high school are exactly the same ones that you're feeling now. I'm sure some of you are feeling a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit anxious, but I also think that you're feeling probably a little bit excited as well. Human beings don't really enjoy the idea of change, and it can be something that's a little bit difficult to manage, but please don't worry about the move across. If you're honest with yourself and you look around your primary school, you'll probably recognise that actually you've outgrown your primary school where you are, even looking at the size of the chairs and so on. So you are ready for the move. And there's a photograph that I will show you on the first day with a little boy just going like this, and that kind of resilience, that kind of determination to move on. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Minnie. I hope you're okay. I can see you from St Odwell's in Guiseley. It's great to have you with us this evening. It's important just to recognise that, moving school is something that's a little bit tricky. But my job is to make sure that that's as smooth as possible. And I've been at Ilkley Grammar School for when you arrive, it will be my 23rd year at Ilkley Grammar School. And I've been responsible for transition for about the last 9. So I've got lots of experience of making sure that everyone's happy when they join as well. So who have we got there? Sam from Beansley, Boyle and Petty, and welcome to you as well. Like I say, if there's any question, anything I don't explain well, please just drop questions into the chat bar there. That's what this evening's all about. This is all about you. What I wanted to say is, when you join us, you will grow an awful lot when you're with us. And actually, going from your primary schools, particularly some of the small ones, like some of you are at the minute. Hi, Megan. You must have been away when we came down to Ashland, so welcome to you as well. Moving to a big secondary school as big as ours anyway, it can be a little bit daunting, but again, it's absolutely okay to feel a little bit daunted about the move. What you need to understand is how big Ilkley Grammar School is, and there are 319 people joining Year 7 this year in September. So that far exceeds the size of most of your primary schools. So 319 people from approximately 18 different primary schools. So my job is to get all those different teams and join them together, and you will join the other 318 people in your year group and join that, quite a big organization, because pretty much in every year group there's about 300 people. So those people will join together to make about 2,050 students on site with us at IGS. and there's approximately 250 staff as well, about 150 or so teachers, and then a lot of support staff as well to help us do that. And hi, who've we got there? David from Asquith, and Camilla joining us from the Ukraine, okay, via Moorfield. I think my colleague said that we met you the other day, and I think I remember meeting David as well when we went over to Asquith. So it's great to have you with us this evening. So once you've got those 2,000 people on site, it's a big building, it's a big site. We've got lots of different things, and one of the things that young people are worried about is getting lost. Don't worry about that. I'll give you some hints and tips with it later on. What I've got to do is get all those 319 people and split them into 11 even tutor groups. So what we try and do there is we've been speaking to your primary school teachers, your year 6 teachers. We're gathering lots of data on you, and I'm using that data to make 11 even tutor groups. Now, those 11 even tutor groups are split into 3 bands. There are 4 in 2 of the bands and 3 tutor groups in the other band, and those bands are called I, G and S. Now, you will join us on Welcome Day on the 14th of July, and when you come in on Welcome Day, you will meet and we will tell you what tutor group you're in and what band you're in as well. And that's your first chance to meet everybody else that's in your tutor group. Now, what I did say to the young people, and I said it today in Addingham, I said, you know, we know that people have formed really good friendships at primary school, and we want to try and preserve those where we can. But I can't ensure that all of the people that you get on with are in your tutor group. What is guaranteed is you will all have at least one person in your tutor group that you are friendly with. That might not be your best friend, but it'll be someone that you know. What I do say is there are some people, and there are actually some people that are coming on here, and they're the only person, or maybe just 2 people, that are coming from some of the primary schools that are a little bit further away from us. And therefore, what I need to do is recognise that those people need to be integrated into the groups as well. And we do that by just recognising that what I want to do is allow you and give you the opportunity to make friends with all the other people that are in your tutor group. Yes, I understand that you have good friendships at primary school, but I do want you to take the opportunity to meet some people new. And actually what I did do, or what I have done, is I've taken students that have been at the primary schools with you. I took a girl called Sophie with me today to Addingham, and what she said to the young people that were there was her best friend. She went to Addingham Primary School herself, but actually her best friend in IGS is actually from Burley Oaks, and she's met someone new, and they're absolutely best friends. So please look at it as an opportunity to meet new people. It happened to me. When I went to high school, I was sat next to a boy. I didn't know that boy. He came from another primary school. I didn't know him. We were sat together in the tutor group, and he's still my best friend 30 odd years later. So what I say to people is when you meet your new tutor group, when you meet all the people that are in your year group, your best friend for the rest of your life will be in that room, and you might not even know who they are yet. So take that opportunity to make new friends. It's a really, really important time. And that can be a little bit daunting, but what we do on Welcome Day is we do a lot of team building exercises. And allow you to try and get to know people. When you join us in September, we do more team building exercises on your first day in September, and we will be taking you down to Nell Bank as well in your second week when you're with us. And when you go down to Nell Bank, there will be more opportunity to do team building in an outward bound way, which is, you know, just all the things that I want to do is get you to see that all the people that are in your tutor group you'll be friends with for a long time, because that tutor group will stay together for the 5 years that you're with us at IGS. You change tutor group when you go into sixth form, because some people do leave and some people do join us, but that tutor group will be who you're with for the next 5 years. And what you've got to recognize is how much you're going to grow. Today, there was a little boy with us, and I was trying to show him how much bigger he would get when he joined IGS because he was only a normal size year 6 boy. But by the time he leaves secondary school in year 11 or possibly in year 13, then he will be as big as I am. And I'm 6'3", fully grown person. And you can't see that yet, but I know that you will grow into a young adult while you're with us in time. And if you do stay with us in the sixth form, you'll be 18 by the time you leave secondary school. So you will grow so much from being 11 to 18, not just in the size of your body, but how you look, your appearance, what's inside your head, your personality, your character. Everything will change about you for the better and prepare you for leaving school, either at the end of year 11 or when you're 16. At the end of year 13 when you're 18. So please take that opportunity. Now, what you are joining is a school that is, has been a school in Ilkley for a long, long time. And I asked the young people today to try and guess how old Ilkley Grammar School was. And very, very few people realise how old Ilkley Grammar School actually is. Ilkley Grammar School was formed as a school in 1608. So if you do the maths, then it was formed 414 years ago. So it's been a school and taking young people in to educate them for way over 400 years. Now, the original school, and a lot of people don't actually know where it is, but next time you walk down that way, you might have a look at it. But if you are on the A65, opposite the cycle shop, Sam, what did you say there? I'm the only one coming from my school. You see, we need to look after Sam. Sam, it's really important that we look after you, and so we will be buddying you up with people to make sure that we get you a really good friend, and your best friend will be in at your tutor group as well, and be someone that you will be friends with for the rest of your life. I absolutely assure you. As I said, the old grammar school, the first grammar school that was formed in 1608, the first building on the A65 opposite the cycle shop, there's a really small building with a blue plaque on, and if you look very carefully at the plaque, it says Ilkley Grammar School, and that small building was where the first secondary school was formed. It was moved onto the site we're on now in Victorian times, and the tower was built and so on. And then it's been added to and added to and added to. And our newest building, which we call the Armitage building, was only built a couple of years ago. So we're constantly building that. You can see there, someone said hi to you already, Sam, which is fantastic. We're already making friends and we've not even met each other yet, which is absolutely superb. So what you've got to remember is you joining a school that's had such long traditions is it's actually got things that we try and retain about that old school. And one of the things that we do retain is when you get your blazer, you will see on the pocket that it has a coat of arms, and also in Latin surrounding it, it has the original motto from the original school. Now, the motto from the original school was written in a language called Latin, and it says Sapienta e statura proficiamus. Now, that does sound like a Harry Potter wizard spell, but actually it does say growing in wisdom and stature. Now, I think you know what wisdom is. That's growing in your ability, your learning and so on. But what stature means is what we do try and do is make excellent citizens as well. Now, we don't teach Latin at school anymore. They used to do, but they don't anymore. So we've changed the motto to one that people understand a little bit more, a modern motto, if you like. It's not the one that's on the badge of your pocket on your blazer, but the modern motto says, together we achieve our personal best. And it's the last bit of that personal best that's the most important thing to think about, because everybody can achieve their personal best or try and better themselves in everything they do. Now, what we can't guarantee is all of you are going to get 9 grade 9s at the end of year 11 and 4 A stars at the end of year 13. Some of you will do that. That will be your personal best. But some people won't get that. But what you will do, and I guarantee you, if you work hard and try and do everything that we ask you to do, work hard in your lessons, work hard in on your home learning. Take the opportunities that are available from school, like joining new clubs, which I'll talk about in a second, and taking opportunities and trips and visits and so on. I guarantee you, you will get an excellent education, and you will achieve your personal best every single time. Sorry, you won't achieve it every time. You'll keep striving to achieve it every single time, and that will push your achievement up so much. So please keep that in your head. Personal best in everything you do. Now, in order to help you to do that, we have a number of systems in school, and one of the systems that we have is a system called Class Charts. Now, Class Charts is an app that will be on your iPad. I'll talk about the iPad soon, and that app is on the teachers' machines as well. It's on your machines, and mums and dads can also have it on their phones or devices at home as well. And what I do as a teacher, when you do something really great, I give you what's called a positive. I push the positive button. It sends a message to your iPad. It normally has a little explanation, like I'm a science teacher, and it might say, you've done a really great piece of work today in science. And that goes to you, and it also goes to your parents as well. And the reason why we do that is so your parents know what's going on in school, and they know how well you're doing. Now, there is another side of that, because obviously the teachers can give you what are called negatives when things go wrong. I wish I could change them away from the word negative, but that's the system that it's called. It's more over a warning. So if you do something where you need to, maybe you've forgotten your homework or so on. Now, actually, in year 7, we operate on about 98% positive and just 2% negative. That's right across the whole of year 7. That shows how great year 7 are. 98% positives, just 2% negatives across the whole big year group. Across the whole school, it's 97% positive and 3% negative. So again, that just shows you how well people do at Ilkley Grammar School and how many people get the praise through their positives. Now, what will happen is we will get you logged on to Class Charts when you first join us, and then we'll send your parents a login code as well. So right from day one, you'll be able to see how well you're doing. The system automatically counts up your positives for you, so you can see how well you're doing. And actually, Sophie, who I had with me today, she got 600 positives in a year. So that's 600 well dones that the teachers have given us. She's clearly been working very, very hard. She's strived to meet her personal best so often in order to get those 600 positives. So that was absolutely brilliant. With regards to the rest of the school, and I said about trying to achieve your personal best in other things that you do as well. Get involved. There's lots of things going on at IGS. We have a really strong sporting tradition. So if you're sporty or even if you're not and you want to try something new, then there's lots of sports available: boys and girls football, boys and girls rugby, there's basketball, there's tennis, there's cricket, there's hockey. What else do we do? There's dance, there's athletics, there's swimming. We have lots of different things available to everybody to have a go at. So if you are interested in those things, you'll see that you get the opportunity to try those, not just in your PE lessons, but also after school as well, because our teaching staff are really committed, particularly our PE teaching staff, to make sure that we achieve really well our personal best on the sporting field. And this year, 2 of our boys' football teams, are the best teams in Leeds. So we've done it with best teams in West Yorkshire. So again, they've done incredibly well. If you're more interested in the creative side, the art side of the school, then again we have a really strong creative arts department with drama and music and singing and dance. We put on shows every year. We also have a team of technical wizards who they're called the backstagers, and they do the lights and the sound and so on. So even if you're not interested in actually standing up on stage, you can still help with the production and show and help the school show how great you all are. With regards to the other trips that there are, as I said, Nell Bank you will go to on the second week that you're with us. But what most people are looking forward to now is what's called Challenge and Celebration Week, and that happens at the end of July. So it's actually just 3 weeks away for us now. But what those is, it's kind of tiered depending on which year you're in. But when you're in year 7, you go on some local trips. So I think they're going to Flamingo Land this year, and they're going to Clip and Climb. They walk the wharf. They do some bowling and so on. It's over 3 to 4 days that we do these things, and there's a carousel for year 7 of all sorts of things to do. It gets a little bit more exciting in year 8. Year 8 go down to London, and they do a West End show. And they're going to see Matilda this year, interestingly, I was told today. And they see the Tower of London, the London Eye. They see the Houses of Parliament, Downing Street. There's one year we've been to Harry Potter World, we've been to London Zoo, we've been to some of the museums. You know, it's a really fantastic 4 days down in the capital there for people to see London, and particularly if you've never been to London before, just seeing the scale of the place and everything that goes on there is really great. And obviously you get to see a professional West End show as well, which is absolutely amazing. In year 9, you go to the Lake District, and when you go to the Lake District, it's an outward bound course, again team building. The weather is, you know, it's July weather, so it's often warm. You go swimming into the lakes, and you go canoeing, rock climbing, abseiling, you know, all the outward bound things that you would expect to be doing on a course like that. There is a bit of a challenge in year 10, so it's called Challenge and Celebration Week. The celebration's really in year 7, 8 and 9, because the challenge comes in year 10 when you actually go out for your week of work experience to prepare you for the world of work. So year 10 are currently getting ready to do that and go out for a week of work experience. There are other trips available as well. Some of these, you know, depending on the sorts of curriculum that you're interested in. If you're interested in history, there's a history trip to the Belgian battlefields. We often go around just after October half term, and we lay a wreath at the Menin Gate to recognise all the people that laid their lives down, that most of them went, you know, there's a lot of people that went to Ilke Grammar School that died in both of the world wars. When you go into the library, you'll see their names up on boards there, and we lay a wreath there from the school. And then obviously the students visit the trenches of World War I trenches and learn about what it was like to live as a soldier in those times. If you're interested in skiing, there's 2 ski trips that go out. The Key Stage 3 one often goes to Europe. They're going to Italy this year. And then the Key Stage 4 and 5 one, they actually go a bit further afield. I think they're going to Canada this year. So they go to North America normally skiing. There are other things that you can get involved in as you get a little bit older. We have a Duke of Edinburgh team that go out in year 10 and 11, and we also have a team challenge team, and actually they're raising a huge amount of money. I think they've got to raise £5,000, I think, and they're going to Vietnam next summer to help with a team challenge. They often end up helping to build a primary school or a well or something like that in a country that needs our support. So there's lots of things to get involved in, and please do take an opportunity. And that's what I say to year 7 all the time. It doesn't matter whether you weren't interested in things in primary school. Take the opportunities that are there for you. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I think I've got everything that I just wanted to say there. Have you got any questions? If you have got any questions, just start pushing them down into the chat bar there, and I'll do my best to answer them. The thing that you are here for, I suppose, and when you do get to school is learning, and I'll just explain how that's organised. You're in 11 tutor groups, and actually in year 7, the tutor group all get taught together. So you all get taught maths together, you all get taught English together, you all get taught things, but actually you move around. It's not like a primary school. So you go to English, then you go to maths, then you go to science. And to help you to organise yourself, you'll have a timetable. Now, our timetable is a bit more complicated than a primary school timetable because we have what's called a 2-week timetable. So there's a week A and then there's a week B. And your iPad is really important with that because you have an app on your iPad called Outlook, and your mums and dads might have Outlook. It allows you to email people, but it also holds your calendar as well, your timetable, if you like, and you can set it up so it tells you what you've got the next day. Now, it's really important that you get yourself organized because there are what are called tie values for each of the year groups, and one of the tie values for year 7 is organized, and you need to get yourself organized. Again, the students that were with me today, when we were with Addingham, they said, yeah, what we do is we pack our bag the night before. That's really well organized. Pack your bag the night before, and then you're not rushing around in the morning in order to get your stuff together. That's particularly important for your parents if you've got PE, or you may have food technology and you have to bring some ingredients in and so on. Please get yourself organized, and it is your responsibility. You need to start getting your bag sorted every day. Look at your timetable. What have I got the next day? What you can't do is carry all your kit around every day. It'll be far too heavy because you'll have about 15 different books. You'll have your PE kit, you'll have your food technology, you might bring in things for your other technologies as well. So you need to just be able to check that you've got everything, you've got your pencil case and so on. So please make sure you get yourself organized, and it is your responsibility. We help you with that organization, so don't think you're on your own. The one thing your tutor will do is go through top tips of how to organize yourself the night before. But my top tip is do it the night before. When you get home, unpack your bag, do your home learning, repack your bag, and then you can enjoy yourself until the next day when you just pick your bag up and run out to school. Sam's got a question there. How will we know what time the sports are on? Good question, Sam. What we do is we run what's called an extracurricular clubs fair. We do it, I think it's normally the 2nd or 3rd week in September, and all the times will be on there as well. And we will tell you, because you sort of sign up for the clubs and then they'll tell you what days they're on. If you end up being lucky enough to make it onto one of the teams, your name's put on a team sheet as well, and you can find out whether you're playing home or away, and what team you're in. So again, we try and get as many people involved in the teams as we possibly can. But it's a very, very good question. You know, I really like that one. Good, well done. I was just trying to think. There's something else I wanted to explain to you. Extracurricular clubs. I was going to Welcome Day. Let me just explain what's going to happen on Welcome Day. Welcome Day on the 14th of July. Now, I'm about to write to your parents with all details of this, so don't feel like you need to write any of this down because it will all be in my letter. But on the 14th of July, what I need you to do is get yourself to Ilkley Grammar School for around 8:25. Now, you come in your primary school uniform, you bring a packed lunch, and you bring your pencil case and any medication that you need for the day. You don't need to bring anything else with you. We will get you into the B hall then, and what we do then is we read everybody's name out, and you go off with your by tutor group. You meet all your tutor group, and then you head off to your tutor group for a whole day of team building exercises and familiarization with the site. So we show you where the toilets are, we show you where the fire points are, we show you where B hall is, we show you where the Armitage is, the front foyer, and so on. And we try and find some of the classrooms. Just get yourself familiar with getting yourself around the school. Now, to help with the travel, and there's lots of ways to get to Ilkley Grammar School. You can walk if you're close enough. You might get dropped off by your parents, which is absolutely fine. But you can also get the train. Now, the trains aren't running too well at the minute, but hopefully by July they are. And just check that you can get your train. Don't get the train that gets in too early. There's one that gets you in around about 8:20, and that's more than enough time to walk up the hill to us to get in. We are just trying to get the train company to get that on time a little bit earlier, but that's about the time that it gets in to us. Or you can use the school buses as well, and there's school buses that come from Burley and Addingham, one that comes from Keighley and goes through Addingham as well, one that comes from Menston. There's buses there. Now you need to get your passes from Metro for September, but for your welcome day, the bus company will allow you to use our school bus should you want to. So what I will do on the letter, I will explain where the pickup points are. There'll be a member of our staff on the bus right from where it gets, from the first person gets picked up. So there'll be no issue on the bus whatsoever, not that there ever is anyway, but we just wanted to make sure you feel safe, and the same thing on the way home as well. So you can actually, if you want to, and you think you're going to be getting the bus in September, you can actually trial it if you like on the welcome day as well. I think it's actually a good thing to do, but there's no pressure from me. As long as you get there to us on time, it's absolutely fine by me. The day will finish around about 10 to 3. We'll make sure we get you on the buses if you're on the buses, or you're free to walk your way home. What I did say to people is please make sure you start practicing that, because although you're doing it for one day in July, in September, you'll be doing it for real that day. If you do need to get yourself a bus pass, you get those through Metro. If you do need to get a reduced rail pass, you get those through Northern Rail. So please get your parents to start getting those things organised, because you have a little photogard bus pass to get through. And again, just going back to my first point, what you'll do with us is a lot of team building exercises. You get to know, we start saying, find someone that's interested in the same sport as you, for example, and we just try and get you doing lots and lots of different things to get you talking and working out, and actually forgetting ultimately which primary school you came from, because within a little while you'll forget which primary school you went to because you're in our team at IGS. One thing that people always are a bit worried about is being on such a busy site, is getting lost and then getting negatives for it. First of all, let me be absolutely clear, you don't get negatives in year 7 until the first half term, unless you do something really stupid. So don't worry about that. We recognise it takes a little bit of time for people to get themselves around the site. So me personally, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, I'm stood out at every change of lessons, pointing people in the right direction. Just remember, all your tutor group are going to the same place as well. So there'll be 28 of you heading to certain areas. And actually, once you've done one cycle, which is 1 week A and 1 week B, you'll soon get your idea of how to work your way about where you go. Because ultimately, you'll be going to the same room pretty much all the time for maths, same room all the time for history, same room all the time for English, and so on. So you'll soon get your used to the way to get round site. And in fact, if any of you joined us in October for the open day, the people that were showing you round were year 7s. So just after a month of being with us, and that's what I will expecting you to do, you actually know the site so well, you can show other people around. It takes most people a fortnight to find their way around. Certainly within the first 3 to 4 weeks, everybody can find their way around. And don't worry about the older students as well. They won't bother you at all. They'll be very, very helpful, and they'll point you in the right direction, or any member of staff will do as well. Okay? Any more questions? Start pushing them down quickly, because I've been talking for half an hour here and people will be starting to get a bit bored of me. So start popping them down. I normally do these things about half an hour. So any questions at all? There's 20 of you online. Just start bashing them down as fast as you can, and I'll do my best to answer them. If you do think of a question that you want to ask afterwards, okay, make sure you buzz it to that email account there. Mrs. Varley, who's one of the student support managers for year 7, will help you. Oh, the one thing I did forget to say is the name of your head of year, who would have been, is called Mrs. Hesse, and she will be your head of year for the next 5 years. She's currently the head of year 11. Her year group had their last exam. Most of them had their last exam today. There's 1 or 2 that have got one on Monday, but most of them had their last exam today, and so they've actually left school as well. How much does school? How do school lunches work? Very good question, Sam. So School lunches, they work on, we use something called Parent Pay. Most primary schools have it. When you come on welcome day, we'll take a copy of your thumbprint, and then we will set you up an account. Your parents add money onto that account, and the way it works is you just go choose what you want, and the food is really, really good. There's all sorts of choice. There's choices for every sort of diet need, and also there is also lots of things, like we have pizza and pasta and burgers and wraps and paninis and chili and curry, and there's everything. If you can't find something to eat, I'd be very, very surprised. There's lots and lots of, there is a break time offer as well, that has croissants and pain au chocolat and bacon sandwiches and fruit and so on. Fruit and salad is actually free at lunchtime. You can eat as much of it as you like. You don't have to pay for that. The lunches themselves, it depends what you have. There's a kind of flat rate for a main lunch as well. So yeah, they're pretty good, the lunches, and it's certainly a wider offer than you would get at any primary school. Mr. Elliott, any chance of Camilla's mum to visit the school? Just email through to us and we'll see what we can do with Mrs. Varley. Just pop an email to us on the transition@ilklgs.co.uk email account, and I'm sure we can set something up for you. Yeah, no problem at all. Okay, any other questions? Pop them down as quick as you can. The one thing I can always guarantee about these evenings is it's always really, really hot when I do these live sessions. All 4 of them that I've done now have been really, really hot, and sat in my little office here with my shirt and tie on. It's really, really hot today. So yeah. Listen, what I do hope, particularly to the young people that are there, I honestly wish we could have done these face to face to you all, but it's just not possible sometimes. But I hope this has been useful to you. And like I say, if there's any questions, make sure you drop them onto that transition@ilklgs.co.uk email address, and we will do everything we can to answer them for you. But I really do look forward to meeting you all on the welcome day on the 14th of July. Just remember my offer of using the buses should you want to. You don't have to. It's just something that we've used previously before COVID. We did it a few times, and then we also and then I really look forward to meeting you when you're all in your Ilkley Grammar School uniform in September, when I can meet you all face to face, and you can start your career at Ilkley Grammar School and have an absolutely amazing time. And I'll be working with you for the next 5 or 7 years of your life, and I'll make sure that you have an absolutely brilliant time. Okay, and that's not just me personally, but all the rest of the teachers, an incredibly committed group of people, and I want you to get involved and make sure that you recognize that it's your school. It's not my school. I do work there. I love working there, but it is your school, and you'll have an absolutely brilliant time. Okay, Sam, you're very, very welcome. You're all welcome. I'm going to leave it there because I'm running into 40 minutes there, and my experience tells me that most people start getting a bit done with it by then. But I do look forward to meeting you all. Just let me see who we've got on here. So Daniel and Minnie and Sam and Megan and David and Camilla and Evan. Sorry, Evan, I didn't see that one there. So hi to you. And what was lovely there, where you were saying hi to each other. I think that's great. That's exactly what I need you to do. Try and meet those people and come with a really positive attitude to get everybody together. Okay. Right. I'm going to leave it there. There's not many more questions coming through, so that's great. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody, and I will see you on Welcome Day on the 14th of July. Okay. Goodbye.